What's up, guys? It is Thursday, August 21st, and I sometimes do lives, but the signal is not that good, so we're going to do a video and upload it. I want to talk to you about something interesting here. It's about not being a consumer and being a producer. Some of you guys on the leadership team have heard me talk about this. I'm going to share this with everyone. Hopefully you can get something out of it. Being a consumer versus a producer isn't just a matter of how you spend your money. It's a matter of mindset. It's a matter of identity, what you consider yourself as. It's a matter of how free you think you are. And there's a lot of things that follow with the mindset, whichever way you go. There's two different ways of life, essentially. And if you go one way, you're going to have a different life than if you go the other way. And it'll impact your family, your children, so on and so forth, how you retire and eventually how you pass. Being a consumer, to me, is what most people do in this country. In fact, I'd say what most people do in most first world countries, which is they have a sense of entitlement to the good things in life, which usually refers to material objects, and it's essentially very surface level life, where you think that only buying things is the only way to make yourself happy. Generally what people like that do is they work, they consume, they buy, they spend all their money, then they go back to work, and it's like this treadmill that you're on. And generally what those people do is, doing an American 76% live paycheck to paycheck, that's 2/3 of the country. Generally what those people do is when they lose their job, they have to go get another job. And there's rarely progress, because there's no margin, there's no excess left over after they're done making the money. And there's no margin in their time, because they always have to work, so then there's no time to actually do things that they love, or have freedom, or invest their time in things that would actually move their lives better, like working out, reading, studying. There's no time. They're always behind. They're always behind the eight ball. They're always chasing this thing. And generally those people, what you've noticed, that how they live is, you'll notice that they always want the next thing, right? They'll buy something. They'll buy the latest computer, then they'll look at the next one that comes out. They're like, oh, I gotta have that. I gotta get the newest phone. I gotta get the newest car. I gotta get the newest watch. I gotta get the newest blah, blah, blah. They're always on this run to consume. And a lot of times, and this isn't always, but a lot of times, these people, there's this sense of wanting to impress people, right? They want to look cool. They want to look rich. They want to look awesome. They want to smell good. They want to do all these things that generally lead to, poverty. Will Smith says, this is actually a very cool one. It says, most people buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. Right? You've heard that before. It's a powerful statement that describes most of this country. So that's the consumer mindset. Generally, these people think life's very difficult, and it is for them. They're not lying, because they're always behind the eight ball. They're always short on cash. They're always short on time. They're always short on health. They're always short on wisdom. And it bleeds into their children. It bleeds into their families. It bleeds into their spouses. And they're always like, they don't have enough, because they're always consuming. They're always consuming. They're eating more than they should. They're drinking more than they should. They're smoking more than they should. And the Bible says in Proverbs that in the house of a wise man you will find stores of oil and good food. Only a fool consumes everything he has. This is Proverbs, a very powerful verse from the Bible. Do not consume everything you have, because that will make you a consumer. So, what's a producer? Aaron Stokes, some of you guys know Aaron's one of my great mentors, changed my life, amazing guy. Also a very wealthy individual with a 9th grade education, told me one day, he said, Zane, I don't ever worry about money for myself, because I know I'm a producer. I will always have more than I need. That's just who I am. It's an identity. And I thought about that for a while, about my life and people that I know that honestly don't make a lot of money, but they always have more. I'm actually going to make a point here about our friend Ahmed, who runs our corporate office. Some of you guys know he's a pharmacist. I've known him since he was working at Tim Hortons, and he was a part-time waiter at a restaurant. I think he was making $4.30 an hour. He'll verify. It's probably something like that. When I tell you this man always had money, I'm not joking. Even when he was poor, he was rich. I'd go to his house and you would not think that he was working at Tim Hortons. Like, the house was clean, it was organized, there was always good food there. It's this massive discipline that he had, right? Well, you were not surprised. He literally fled a war-torn country. So that'll make you a producer real quick, because you realize that when the war hits, you can't be a consumer. As a side note for later. What a producer means is you always produce. You don't consume. You produce more. You always have margin. If you produce 100, you consume 50. The 50 that's left, that's margin. If you produce 200, you may consume 120. The 80 left is margin. Margin means it's extra. Extra means it's a cushion. It means it's safety. It means if things go sideways, you're going to be fine. That 80 that you may have, you may invest. You may put it towards things that you appreciate. You may buy back your time and say, you know what? I'm not interested in working 60 hours anymore. I'm going to work 45 because I have margin. I don't need all of this. I have money in the bank. I have investments that bring me cash. Because this last 10 years I was making, and I was putting away 10, 20, 30, 40% of everything I made. And that 10, 20, 30, 40% invested over 10 years is now producing 10, 20, 30, 40% of what I make in a year working. Which means I can buy back my time. I can work 20% less. Because I've been buying every year. I've been putting away, and I've been putting away, and I've been putting away, and I've been taking that extra production that it did not consume, and I put it towards things that actually bring me wealth. A producer buys assets, whereas a consumer buys liabilities. A liability takes money out of your pocket. You buy a car, you have to make a payment, you have to repair it. You buy things that actually just take money out of your pocket and give you nothing in return. A producer buys assets. Assets put money in your pocket. They appreciate with time. It gives you freedom. An asset also could be something you invest your time in. So I'll tell you a great way of looking at a producer and consumer is how they invest their time. Because when you're coming up, when you're poor, you have time or money, and most people don't have money, so all they have is time. If you ask a rich person what would they like more, money or time, they'll tell you time, because they have a lot more money than time. Whereas poor people don't understand that time is actually very valuable, because you can convert time into anything. You can convert it into health, you can convert it into money, you can convert it into relationships, you can convert it into assets, you can convert it into knowledge, you can convert it into charity. Time is much more malleable than money. Money you can convert into many things, but time is way more valuable. And how you invest your time outside of work, right? That's why I say, show me your schedule, I'll tell you where you're headed. Show me your friends, and I'll tell you your future. Who and how you spend your time is way more powerful than how you spend your money. And to me, a producer, as Aaron says, put me in the middle of Africa and I'll come back with extra money, even though people are starving, is because it's a mindset of how you spend your time. It's a mindset of how you look at life and say, you know what, those things are not worth it. I'm going to go do something that is actually valuable. Value is the part. I produce value. That's what makes me a producer. I'm not interested in consuming my time. Consume means you just eat it and you poop it out. There's no value that comes out of it. You play Xbox for 3 hours every day. You watch Netflix for 4 hours every day. You talk and gossip with your friends who are not accounting to anything in life for 2 hours every night. You go meet up with them every weekend, 5 hours, and all you do is throw your time in the garbage. You stay up all night surfing YouTube. It's a waste of your time. There's nothing good that will come out of that. When you produce, what you do is you read. You watch good videos that enrich your soul, that inspire you. You seek people that inspire you. You seek people that give you wisdom. You read the Word of God, whatever you think that is. That is production, gentlemen. So I want you to understand something. If you're going to get rich in life, it's not going to be because CarFix or AutoPro pays you a lot of money. If you're going to get rich in life, and I mean rich, not just in money, I mean in time, in values, in health, in relationships. If you want to get rich, you need to understand this concept of production versus consumption. And I need you to always produce more than you consume if you want a good life. It has nothing to do with making a lot of money. I mean, it does, but only a small or a medium part of it is making a lot of money. The rest of it, because I'll tell you right now, guys, there's people in our company that make a lot of money and they have nothing to show for it. And if you're that person, please, for the love of God, get your shit together. Because I'm telling you right now, you can make 200, 300, 400, 500,000, but if you don't understand this concept, you're going to end up exactly where you started, whatever that is, because you didn't understand. You thought it was going to just be money. Money helps. Don't get me wrong, making a lot of money makes things a lot easier. But if you don't understand this concept, I know a lot of people that make $500,000 a year and they're broke. I'm dead serious. You guys think I'm joking. I know these guys, they were making 50 grand, they were broke, and now they're making 500 and they're still broke. They don't understand. And they're still having issues in life, right? Because they just can't control. They don't see the vision. They don't understand that it's a lot more than just dollars. They say it's not your bank account that's broke, it's your soul that's broke, and you need to fix that. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and be honest and say, am I doing the things that are right? Am I serious about this thing called life? Am I being a producer, or am I just a pawn, a feather in the wind that just gets blown from one end to the other end and nothing is coming for me? If you're that person, start with journaling, start with reaching out to mentors. I'm here for you guys. If you need me, I told you, personal issues, I'm all ears. And so are the leadership guys in this company. They're great guys. I wish you the best. We're always here for you, and I'm telling you, the future will always be better than the past. Even if you're a consumer and you start changing things, the future will always be better than the past. And if you're a producer, the future is, in fact, better than the past, 100%. You should have no doubt in that. Just keep doing what you're doing. I wish you the best. Thank you, guys, and thank you for listening.